telecom spectrum auction since 2013 has fetched the government more revenues than any previous sale. The sale ended on Tuesday with operators buying airwaves worth Rs 77,814 crore. Spectrum in 7 bands at a reserve price of nearly 4 lakh crore was offered for bidding. Reliance Jio bought most spectrum worth Rs 57,122 crore. Jio bought 488.35 MHz in the 800 MHz, 1800 MHz and 2300 MHz band. Bharti Airtel picked 355.45 MHz of spectrum amounting to Rs 18,698 crore in all the bands for which bidding took place. There were no takers for the 700 MHz and 2500 MHz bands in the 6 rounds of biddings over the last 2 days. Through this acquisition, Jio's total owned spectrum footprint increased by 55%. Vodafone Idea bought only 11.8 MHz of airwaves worth Rs 1,993 crore as the right to use spectrum. The outcome of the spectrum auction indicates that Reliance Jio and Bharti Airtel are gearing up to offer 5G services. While most of the acquisitions have been to renew spectrum in circles where they're expiring, Jio and Airtel have consolidated their holding in the sub-gigahertz frequency bands ideal for 5G. Reliance Jio has acquired 133 MHz of fresh spectrum in the 800 MHz band. The 77,000 crore payout for spectrum will add to the industry's overall debt, taking it closer to 5 lakh crore. Operators will have to think about how to fund the spectrum acquisition and new revenue models. There was also no competitive bidding for any spectrum. Most bids were at the reserve price. This means that the operators went in with a clear strategy on how much spectrum they wanted to acquire and that the bidders did not indulge in undercutting each other's plan. Analysts feel that the level of competition is now down to just 3 operators, and this auction showed that there is hardly any fight for spectrum unlike a few years ago. While the government should be appreciated for putting all the spectrum available for sale and not creating an artificial scarcity, the auction design must be relooked. To read the complete story, click the links in the description box below.